What's up, guys, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. We have a very exciting video ahead of us. We are going to see if an idiot YouTuber can replicate the landing of the legend Sully, the miracle on the Hudson. Take the seat of pilot Chesley Sullenberger on U.S. Airways Flight 1549 on January 15th, 2009. You are scheduled to fly from LaGuardia, New York to Charlotte Douglas, North Carolina. You are at 2,000 feet and climbing just after takeoff from runway 4. My oh my, it's a beautiful morning here in New York City. Just taking off from LaGuardia. We are going to be heading to Charlotte Douglas. Everyone's settled in for a nice easy ride. Should be a quick, I don't know, what is that? Probably like a 3-hour flight, maybe a little bit less, two and a half hours, something like that. I think we want to climb up to about 2,800 feet. Boom. And all of a sudden, our engines have gone out. There is absolutely no power in either engine. And now we have, I think it was 206 seconds to make a decision on what we're going to do. And the options were to potentially turn around, try to get back to LaGuardia. I think there was, could you go over to Teterboro? I'm not sure. We could have gone over to New Jersey or something like that. But Sully decided to start banking left. He saw a big old wide open space that we could potentially land in, and that's the 41-degree Hudson River. It's 19 degrees outside, 41 degrees in the water, and we are going to get this thing turned around and hopefully be able to put it down. So we hit a flock of birds. It was a flock of Canadian geese. They took out both engines, which is obviously worst case scenario. So we've got very limited time here, very limited airspeed. He's calling into air traffic control, try to see, you know, what our options are. Can we make it to other airstrips? Probably not, we've decided. So now we're like, okay, we're gonna land this thing in the Hudson. It's gonna happen. So we're gonna line up here. I think we're aiming for about right here. Like kind of in this area. If you imagine a line across there, that's kind of where we want to try to put this thing down. We'll see what happens. This is not going to be easy. We could probably think about, should we, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't really know much. I'm going to put our flaps down. It looks like that didn't do much. All right, I'm going to trim down, and we're going to, I'm trying to put my flaps. Our flaps aren't coming down. This is like if you know, the idiot passenger next to you comes in and tries to take control. I think that might be too much. Hold on. We're going to take the speed brakes off. I don't know if we're going to make it there, folks. I'm trying to pull back. Oh, my goodness. This is a landing challenge. We're supposed to hit it at a certain spot. All right. I'm going to put the air brakes back on. And we're going to see what happens here. We're supposed to hit the Hudson at a specific spot for it to be able to count. I think we're a little bit too early. That's a crash. We're dead. I'm not sure if we're supposed to be using air brakes or not, but yeah, that didn't work out for us. I'd like to try to keep this as realistic as possible. I think, were they at like 180 knots at about 2,800 feet? We need to make sure that we get up to the right altitude. If we aren't at the right altitude, we aren't going to have enough, you know, distance to be able to cover. Going to start our bank again here. Hopefully a little bit better luck this time. We need a little bit more distance. Now, the cool thing is everyone survived this landing, all 155 souls on board, which is fantastic. There were 5 serious injuries, though, and they counted a serious injury as anyone who stayed in the hospital for 48 hours or more. So part of it was the water. I mean, the water was frigid. It was 41 degrees. The air outside was 19 degrees. So imagine, you know, landing in a river of cold water when it's 19 degrees outside like that. That would not be fun. During the rescue process, obviously, a lot of people cold, starting to get hypothermia, things like that. The biggest injury was actually one of the flight attendants. Her name was Doreen Walsh. And so there was a metal rod that came up from the floor of the plane upon impact, and it like gashed her leg, which that's some Final Destination type stuff. Luckily, you know, she survived. It was just a leg injury, but that is absolutely terrifying to me. So looks like we're taking a slightly different approach this time. We've got a lot of altitude here. Going to try to trim down as much as I can, and we're definitely going to need some air braking. Like maybe not a lot, but at least a little bit, because overspeed, exactly. We definitely want to try to come in and land as softly as possible here. So I'm going to see Again, we want to aim for that first thing that's jutting out over there on the left. I feel like we're looking pretty good here. Don't tell me. Say it ain't so. I don't know where I want to watch it, from inside or out.
50, 40, 30.
Pull back a little bit.
20.
Let her.
Retard.
Oh, what? I thought that was it. So I'm reading more about it here. This is really fascinating. They had a couple of options. So one was to turn around and go back to LaGuardia, which they could have potentially made. It wasn't really on the checklist, though. It wasn't like a part of their protocol. And the other thing was they were going to have to turn back around over Manhattan. And when you're turning, you know, that hard, you're losing altitude with the plane. So it's just that's kind of a big risk that they would have been taking to turn back like that. Newark was in the direction that they were headed, but it was too far away. There was no way they were going to make it. And then Teterboro was originally what they thought they were going to do. That was the first accepted plan. But the co-pilot said, no, we don't have enough speed. We don't have enough altitude to be able to make it there. And then Sully agreed with them. So that's when Sully turned it towards the Hudson. It was really the only main damage limiting option for them at that point in time. Ooh, this one actually looks pretty good. We kind of cut the corner, trying to speed things up. What's our airspeed at? We're going pretty fast, though, is the problem. And I think we might not have enough. We're so close. We're coming down really fast, though. We're going to have to slow down the descent. The other option they had potentially talked about was restarting the engines. You can manually do that if you've got enough speed, but they didn't have enough speed to be able to try that. So the only way they could have got more speed was to angle down, and obviously being over New York and residential areas and things, that just wasn't the best idea. So best option was to put her down the Hudson at that point in time. Simulations after the fact, you know, hindsight's always 20/20. Like when you know exactly what's going to happen, you could prep for it, you could plan it out and have perfect conditions. They were able to make it to Teterboro and some of the other options, but you know, I don't know. There's questions about whether or not it was the right call. Ultimately, the NTSB did say it was the right call. And to me, if you have 150 people's lives in your hand, you just got to do what you think is best in that moment. And that's exactly what he did. So, you know, lost a plane, but hey, everyone survived. And I don't think you can ask for a better outcome. I'm also not an expert at all, so please don't think I am. But I'm trying to land this thing, man. We want to be at about 140 knots, I think. I'm going to put some air brake on. I don't think our flaps are working because the engines are out. We're going way too fast. I just can't get the plane slowed down enough, to be honest.
60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
Oh, I really thought that one might be close. We were at 170. Pretty nice
60,
here, I feel like.
50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
How was that not it, dude? Well, I'm putting the tail down because if you tail drag it, you know, kind of slows the plane down, and then you can come to a stop. If you come in hot, you don't want to nosedive, or if you're a little off center. Are we? I mean, we're pretty even here. I actually feel like that was really good. The thing is this landing challenge wants you to hit a specific spot. I think it might want us a little bit further up here. It's before this building. It's just before this building, center of the Hudson, which is where we are. But we want to hit it a little bit up there. And I think we might have been going just a tiny bit fast. This is like it's like a reenactment challenge. So you need to do it exactly as he did it. Whereas, I mean, let's be honest, he chose a nice open runway here. So when he was doing it, he could land wherever his plane slowed down at. We need to like slow down at the exact moment that he did. And I don't know how possible that's going to be.
60.
What about 210? We're in the middle.
40. 30.
Nice easy landing.
20. Retard.
Oh my goodness. See, I think it says we want to be in line with like these islands over here. Like I'm trying so hard.
40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Oh! Oh, we did it! Oh my God! Slow it down. Maybe speed brakes? All the way, 100%. We did it! We did it! Oh my goodness, dude! I can't believe it. We did it! Oh! Success! Yes, baby, that is what I'm talking about. That one just felt good. That one felt buttery. I think sometimes we might have been a little off kilter because you got to think if your wing is down, that thing's getting ripped off. The plane is spinning. People are going flying. It's just not a good thing. You had to be perfectly level to be able to achieve that. My goodness, look at that. We just officially landed an A320 on the Hudson. I tried to get the U.S. Airways livery on it, but it didn't load. I'm not sure what happened, but beautiful work. That is what I'm talking about, dude. I'm feeling good about that. Now, I do have one final fun fact for you guys, and it's for all of my single people out there. There is hope. There was one romance that came from this flight. Ben, who was sitting in seat 17D, and Laura, who was 3 rows behind him in seat 20A, they ended up together after this. Now, it wasn't because of the actual crash itself, but they had like a survivors reunion a couple years later. They ended up uniting, bonding over this absolutely terrifying, life-threatening disaster, and, there's hope. You aren't going to be forever alone. You just might have to take some more flights. I'll see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed. More Flight Sim coming soon. Peace out.